the president and CEO of the DuSable Museum, Ms. Perry Ermer. Good morning and welcome. I have laryngitis. Can you believe it? It's actually very funny because I never shut up. It's a big day for the Do, and we're glad you're here. Today, you will see the power of teamwork. When one of us is down, others step up. Welcome to our Rebranding Day. So you all can imagine my surprise this morning when I looked at my emails and was like, Wendy, can you give my remarks? I'm like, yeah, okay. So good morning again. It's a beautiful day in Chicago and a very exciting day here at the museum. We're happy to see all of you and grateful for your presence on this momentous occasion. Today, this venerable institution, the oldest independent Black History museum in the nation, is moving forward, onward, upward, into a new era for new generations. Our founder, Dr. Margaret Burroughs, created the museum 61 years ago because there was a lack of Black stories and Black history in the arts, culture, and education landscape, and she decided to do something about it. Dr. Burroughs dedicated her life to education. She was an artist, a poet, a public official, but above all else, she was a teacher. Because of that, education has always been at the core of our mission here at the DuSable Museum. Everything we do is built upon that purpose, that foundation. Our brilliant exhibits, our multitude of programs, our advocacy, our performances, everything we do to teach all people about Black excellence through our history, art, and culture. We teach about the contributions of our people, not only to America, as it was built upon our backs, but to the world, whether stories of our courageous Black troops in World War I, our fight for freedom and democracy in the first civil rights era, and we're back in that fight once again. See, she agrees. Experiencing the 1963 March on Washington in virtual reality, right? Or the telling of our freedom origin through the eyes of 11-year-old Oluda Equiano. These stories must be told, and told by us. If you've grown up knowing about this museum, visiting it as a student, bringing your kids, you've noticed a lot of changes in recent years. We've become more vibrant and more interactive, more geographically diverse in our content and programs, and more exciting and engaging. Even through the pandemic, we are an example of resilience and strength of a people reclaiming our narrative and shaping it with the world. The DuSable will always maintain a focus on African American history, which is American history, regardless of whether some would try to deny it, distort it, or legislate it away. The truth we tell here, because everyone, no matter who they are or where they're from, has the right to learn our history. But it is also important to acknowledge the connections and the experiences of Black people all over the world. Our younger generations, who will sustain the institution for another 61 or another 161 years, certainly know this. They are connected today through technology like never before. They are learning these stories and building an awareness of the spirit of Black humanity that has survived and continues to inspire. Our histories of colonization, migration, power, and pride are incredibly important to learn because they influence today's culture and tomorrow's direction. Knowledge is power, and understanding, which is most important. The connectedness of the African diaspora is empowering for young and old alike. We've been working very hard to evolve and grow the DuSable, and we've had great friends and partners along the way, and we have to thank you. Thank you to our dedicated Board of Trustees, whose ranks include history makers like trailblazing Carol Mosley Braun. Will all of the trustees please stand? Thank you. To our wonderful Women's Board, please stand. And our loyal donors and supporters like PNC Bank and Walgreens, the McCormick Foundation and Bank of America, among United Airlines, and many others. We also want to proactively thank our future donors, who we know will come forward to support our educational mission. We celebrate our great partners, especially Stello Stories, the MCA, the University of Chicago, our legislative leaders, many of whom are with us this morning. Would they please stand? Carol, wave, I just spoke about you. Let's give her a big round of applause. Yay! I also want to thank the creative talent at the Zeno Group and Hawthorne Strategies, who have helped get us to this rebranding day. P2 Consulting, Avidity Technologies, and of course, our members and our community who we love and who love us back. And most important of all, we thank our amazing, dedicated, small yet mighty staff that does so much with so little. They are the secret sauce behind this museum. All right, now you see why Perry has laryngitis, right? And now to kick it off, let's kick off this celebration. Please welcome the Happiness Club.
Yes, it's on. Hi, everybody. How are you? So the first song that they're going to do is special, and I really want you guys to get into this. So when you see them start to clap your hands, do the same, because we're doing this in honor of this song is called, as she would say, 10 small, 2 little words. If it is to be, it's up to me. So without further ado, let's go.
It's up to me, and I'ma make history. I'm telling you. Cheer. It's up to me. Whatever I wanna dream. We gon' if it is to be. It's up to me. Whatever I wanna dream. We can. I told them, first off, let me start by saying this. It is to be, there ain't no coincidence. It's up to me, I'm full of confidence. Happiness club with me, we finna rock to this. Try to be better than me. Shout out to Mary D, your words and business in my ears, yo. Check out my melody. Hey, it ain't nothing you can tell me. See, my destiny is everything. I gotta live my every dream. Check. I got things I gotta do and I'm taking full control. Come a little harder, give a little more. I got things I gotta do and I'm taking full control. Let's get it a little harder, give a little harder, give a little more. Things I gotta do and I'm taking full control.
All right, that was great. Let's give them another round of applause. I'm sure we all feel bad for not going to the gym now this week after seeing that. I know I do. Without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to our Alderwoman of the 20th Ward, whose leadership and support of the museum has been unwavering since I can remember. Come on up here. Alderwoman Jeanette Taylor.
Good morning. I don't feel bad about going to the gym, but can somebody from the Happiness Club give me your knees and a little bit of that energy? Because I definitely need it. They are the reasons why we get up and do this every day. And so I thank you all for coming this morning, and I definitely appreciated the performance. So I'm Alderwoman Jeanette Taylor, and I have the pleasure of being the Alderwoman that represents the DuSable Museum. I remember coming here as a kid from kindergarten to high school, coming here, and every time I came, I learned something new about me. And I have a bag, and I didn't bring it today, but it says, everything that you love about America came from black people. I'm gonna say that a little louder for the people in the back, because they ain't hear me. Everything that you love about America came from black people. And so I'm always honored to be at the house that Dr. Burroughs built. I remember seeing this humble woman walk through Kenwood, Oakland by herself, and we would offer her a ride home, and she's like, no, I ain't scared of the people in my community. I want to walk my community. I want to see my people. And so I always respect and love that about her. I'm going to do a shameless plug. And so if you are not a member of the DuSable Museum, get a membership. Buy one for a family. If this museum closed, if our history closed, shame on us. And so I welcome you out today. If y'all remember last year, it was hot. I'm really confused by this weather. Mother Nature, she having her some issues, ain't she? Now I feel like I'm underdressed. I need a sweater on. They didn't sweat it. Can I get a little of y'all sweat? Because it is cold up here. I thank you all for being here today. And remember, this is the oldest African-American history museum in the world. And so we need to protect it. I thank Dr. Irma for her work. Every time I turn around, she's doing something different. I was here last month and saw Patti LaBelle. It's like, Patti LaBelle over in Chicago on the south side. That's how you know there's some wonderful things going on in our city. And those are the people that we got to support and get up and do this every day. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we will have remarks from Commissioner Bill Lowry.
Thank you. Happy Juneteenth. It's so good to see all of you here at my favorite museum, the DuSable Museum of African American History. Let me first say to our leader, where's Perry? Perry, I love you whether you're able to speak words or not. You are the best, and we are so blessed to have you. The DuSable is truly a gem of the 3rd District. I represent the 3rd District. I welcome all of you to the 3rd District today. But this museum, in many ways, it mirrors what Juneteenth is to me. And Juneteenth, like the DuSable, means to me, it's a bridge. It's a bridge which binds our past with our present and it also will take us to our tomorrow. And as I reflect on Juneteenth, and we've had a lot of different wonderful Juneteenth events at the county. We work to make Juneteenth a holiday at Cook County, so if you need someone at Cook County on Monday, they won't be there. But we've had just a wonderful several days of celebration of Juneteenth with a lot of very different and exciting events. But it also has forced me to really ponder where we are. And as I stand here 159 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, my truth is we still aren't free. And we must continue to work. And as we continue to talk about the topics that we looked at over the course of the last several days, equity, justice, and health, we can't just talk about those issues when we're talking about Juneteenth. We have to talk about those issues 365 days a year. And for me, my path forward is very simple. It's based on 4 principles. Economic equity in my community, in our community, is number 1. And when I say equity, that's not equality. Equity takes into account the centuries of disinvestment that we've seen in this community. So we must continue to fight for economic equity. We have to continue to fight for health care, including mental health care, right here in our community. And I'm so proud because DuSable isn't the only gym in the third. Providence Hospital is the gym in the third. And over the course of the last year, we have cut a ribbon at Providence on a new dialysis center. Now, I'm gonna speak truth. That also shows we need better food options available to us, but we have cut that ribbon. I don't think members of this community should have to leave the community to get the medical care that they not only need, but deserve. Over the last several months at Providence, we cut a ribbon on a new MRI center. The impact of that cannot be overstated. It is through MRIs that conditions are often confirmed or ruled out. It is through MRIs that the severity of stroke is often determined. It's through MRIs that often breast cancer is determined. And it was through a pelvic MRI that my early stage prostate cancer was determined and shown in 2019 that led to surgery and that led to my ability to talk to all of you this morning, cancer. And we're gonna do more. For the first time in 12 years, we're gonna have a full service emergency room at Providence with ambulance access. And then in 2023, we're gonna start our investment in Providence. We're gonna rebuild it with $240 million. This is important, and this is long overdue, so we're gonna do that. We also have to continue to provide educational opportunities for our youth, but not just that. Opportunities just so that all of us can have an income. So we're gonna talk about apprenticeship programs, but not ask our individuals in the community to go to Elk Grove Village for a program or West Chicago for a program. We're gonna do it right here and make sure that we present that opportunity to the entirety of our community. We're gonna continue to talk about criminal justice reform. That's vital. I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm gonna make a call for action. And I'm calling my sister. Everything I do with Alderwoman Taylor. Let me just be clear about that. But I'm gonna say at every level, whether you're a city elected, a county elected, a state elected, a federal elected, I'm gonna say to our faith leaders, I'm gonna say to our business community, I'm gonna say to our community organizations, I'm gonna say to our community members, call to action is, I wanna see a community center in all 50 wards of Chicago. And what you're gonna see if we do that, first of all, the partners we'll have at every community center can be as expansive as our minds. We can have mental health care, we can have dental, we can have coding being trained to those who come. We can have events for our youth, for our seniors, and everyone in between. There is no limit to what we can do, but I can tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna see violence go down, and you're gonna see a bridge of true and generational opportunity presented to our community. That is what we must do in honor of Juneteenth, but more importantly, in honor of ourselves. So as we go forward, let's enjoy today, because tomorrow, we gotta get back to work. Thank you.
So I'm not sure if you know this, but the DuSable Museum is just one of many museums located in the Chicago Park District. And I would just like to welcome the new chairwoman of the Chicago Park District, Maidi Hamilton, and welcome our new CEO and president of the Park District, Rosa Escarena. Can you please? Will you guys stand so people can recognize you and thank you? If it wasn't for the Park District support, these museums would not be able to have the success that they are having. So on behalf of all of the city, thank you. Without further ado, I would like to welcome our chairwoman, our fearless leader, Ms. Pat Kanazi.
Okay. I don't know if I'm fearless. Good morning. Yes, I am. I am fearless. I taught in the city schools 35 years and 2 months. I'm fearless. Yeah, I'm fearless. I first and foremost would like to thank Perry Irmer, our president and CEO. She works tirelessly. Even though she can't speak, she has her. I asked someone if we needed a signer today, someone to sign. And they said, no, we don't have anyone, and we won't get anyone for this particular time. But Perry came prepared, as always, with signs. So Perry, will you please stand? And I'd just like to thank her publicly. We love you, and we respect you. She works tirelessly, and I hammer her a lot, Adrian, because she does not get enough rest. She's always visioning. She's always thinking about what we can do at the museum. She doesn't get enough rest, so I think I'm going to have to get an injunction or something so that we can make sure that you get rest. Thank you, Perry. But I'd like to say thank you to our elected officials, because Bill Lowry and Alderwoman Taylor are always available if you need them, and they put fundraisers together for us, and we got memberships done last year in conjunction with the Women's Board, so thank you for that. Thank you so much. Also, I'd like to thank our board members who are present. Carol, I thought you were campaigning, because when you walked in, you hugged, you kissed, and you walked. I said, now wait a minute, is she running for something that I don't know about? I'm not sure, but thank you, Carol. She did call me this morning, and she said that she had a previous engagement and that she would be somewhat tardy, so thank you, Carol, for coming. But all of our board members, the ones who are here and the ones who are not here, we are a family. We work tirelessly, and the cool thing about it is that we work well together. We do have differences of opinion, sometimes vast differences of opinion, but we come together under Perry's leadership and we get it done. Now, Perry and I fall out probably every 2 weeks, but I listen. I ignore some things that I don't want to hear, but often are true, sometimes not, but it's a balance. So we have achieved a balance. We love and appreciate each other. We get it done. Don't we, Perry? Yeah, smart lady, thumbs up. So, but I'd like to thank the Women's Board who works tirelessly. Thank you, Women's Board members. I'd like to thank those spouses who are out there who support us, Scott Nations, who's married to Wendy Taylor Nations, who's Wendy's always busy. But we work on behalf of the people in this community and the city at large. And so when you donate, you're not donating to us, you're donating to the museum, but more importantly, those kids who did the steps that you did today, the Happiness Club, that was wonderful. That's why we're here, because we want to make sure that there are happiness clubs all around the city, because those kids are happy, and where they're happy kids, they're productive kids, and that's what it's all about. So with no further ado, I'd like to sit and just relax, and Wendy, you come up, or I'm introducing Scott, I'm sorry. Don't give me his name. What's his name? Glenn. Okay, Glenn, come up. He's with Choose Chicago. Yeah. Glenn Eaton. Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. I'm really proud to be here on behalf of Choose Chicago. We're the organization that sells and markets the cities to tourists and conventioners around the world. A special thanks to Perry Irmer and the DuSable board for inviting me. It is an honor to be included in such an amazing lineup of speakers. But can we just also recognize the young and inspiring talents of the Happiness Club? They don't call them Chicago's favorite hip hop kids for nothing. Thank you for sharing your joy and positivity with us this morning. We could not be gathered at a more perfect time. About this time last year, Congress passed the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act, and President Biden signed the bill into law. It is still hard to believe that Juneteenth is a federal holiday, and I like to take this moment to appreciate how important that is for Black culture. We come so far. However, we know there is still work to be done towards the fight for racial equality. We are living our ancestors' wildest dreams, and I'm so proud to celebrate Juneteenth in honor of the 157th anniversary of Black freedom with each of you today. Black history is our history, and it is why the educational opportunities offered here at the DuSable are so critical for our community. We are fortunate to have such valuable Black history available right in our backyard. DuSable is truly a cultural staple in Chicago and a treasure for all Chicagoans and people visiting around the world. Chicago is not just a destination for deep dish pizza. It's not. When tourists arrive to our city, they come to experience the best museums the country has to offer. In fact, the DuSable opened in 1961, 4 decades before the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C. That's more than 60 years of service and representation on the south side of Chicago. Its neighborhoods like this one offer a unique experience that people travel far and wide for. This summer is ours, and I welcome summer visitors with open arms. Chicago is back, and we will continue to make significant progress in our recovery from the pandemic. Even though through COVID, Chicago has proudly held its acclaimed title as the best big city in the U.S. for the last 5 years by Condé Nast Travelers. A performance unmatched by any other city, not New York, not New Orleans, not Houston, not LA, but Chicago. And that's something that we should all be very proud of, considering all the negative and non-informative news that the news media continues to spread about our beautiful city. We all know that COVID has been a game changer for many industries, especially travel and tourism. Vacations have changed the last couple of years, and people are looking for more meaningful travel. The Destination Next 2021 Future Study reveals that travelers are seeking more authentic, unique, and personally enriching experiences. It's no longer just about getting away, but what travelers can learn about the place and themselves. And that's exactly what places like the DuSable offer. A chance to learn about ourselves, a chance to see ourselves as something bigger, to see ourselves in the context of the world. And it is places like the DuSable that makes Choose Chicago have an easy job. It is easy to market a destination when we have amazing partners like the DuSable. As I stand here with all of you, I'm reminded of the impact DuSable continuously makes as a meaningful community partner who has given so much back to Chicago. Ensuring that everyone, no matter their race, has access to Black history and the opportunity to be immersed in Black culture and the lessons about the contributions Black people have made and continue to make in our society. So to the leadership and team of the DuSable, thank you for not only raising awareness about Freedom Day, but opening your doors to the community with free admission all weekend. I am hopeful that people around the city and beyond will take advantage of the festivities that will be offered not just this weekend, but throughout the summer. Again, thank you for inviting me to attend this wonderful event. On behalf of the Board of Directors and the team at Choose Chicago, we are so proud that DuSable called Chicago home.
Thank you, Glenn. We will now entertain remarks from Rosa from the Park District. Welcome. Let's give her another round of applause.
Good morning, afternoon. I can't tell what it is. It's so beautiful out here. My name is Rosa Scareño, General Superintendent and CEO of the Chicago Park District, and I am just thrilled to be here. And I'm providing remarks primarily because Mayor Lori Lightfoot could not be here. She just asked me to acknowledge all of you and to provide some words of encouragement as it is such a special day for DuSable as well as in celebration of Juneteenth. And she wished she could be here, but she has another commitment. But as a reminder, yes, as Wendy said, this is one of 11 museums on Chicago Park District grounds, and we are just so proud as a city and as a park district to embrace the many cultures and to ensure that their educational enrichment continues. At the Chicago Park District, we are extremely proud to offer so much programming, especially to young people, the young people of our city, the future leaders who are coming through and building what is to come for Chicago. Throughout our 250 field houses, we provide full programming. We're one of the few cities that does that. And that is as a result of great leadership, mayoral leadership from our council and commissioners. I work very closely with our alderman, hi alderman, and we have a history together, and I so appreciate her. But certainly Perry has been an amazing trailblazer, really pushing the bar, really pushing us in government to do more for the community. And on this Juneteenth, I am just proud as a woman of color, as a Latina, to know that my community has benefited so much from all that has been done over the years. And history must be taught, and our children must know where we come from and who has put us forward. And it is that the Black history and the honesty that exists within these doors, that is what must be told. In today's day and age, our young people are hearing a lot of very confusing stories, but telling the truth to power. And this is what museums like DuSable are all about. So on behalf of the mayor, I just want to say thank you, Perry. Thank you to the board for all that you're doing for our communities. And I have to do this plug for the Park District. I want to just really acknowledge our incoming president, Maidi Hamilton, who is our president of the board at the Chicago Park District, and to tell you that we are really fighting to build an even stronger Park District because we care for thousands and thousands of kids, primarily in our neighborhoods where disinvestment exists. So building wealth, educating our youth is our #1 priority. And my president tells me every day, I want to see young people in everything we do, and we are working on that. So to all of you who are here today, we need lifeguards this summer. And so please reach out, because if we don't have lifeguards, we will not have the robust programming that our communities need. And not all of our communities can make it to the lakefront. And so it is so important for us that the pipeline of workers that we create at the Park District are young people that eventually are building and working in the communities. And you will be very proud that the majority of the lifeguards that are actually coming through this year are coming from the south and west side, because we have invested a lot of time and effort in really putting a lot of effort in these communities. And I am committed with my president and the mayor, of course, to continue to ensure that we are building equity and strengthening our programs in areas of disinvestment. I thank you all. Thank you, Perry, and I am thrilled to be a partner. And on behalf of the mayor, thank you for having us.
Our next speaker is my colleague. I could not be more excited to introduce Dr. Waldo Johnson, Vice Provost of the University of Chicago.
Good morning. Yes, I think it's still a good morning. I want to begin by thanking Wendy for the invitation to join this occasion this morning. said, I'm Waldo Johnson. I'm a professor at the Crown Family School of Social Work, Policy and Practice, and most recently was appointed Vice Provost of the University of Chicago. In my role as Vice Provost, I lead the university's diversity and inclusion initiatives, and I also lead faculty development for the university. You know, diversity is critical to the process of discovery, and it is especially the case at the University of Chicago, where different backgrounds, viewpoints, and perspectives are not only sought after and encouraged, but they are also the building blocks that make rigorous inquiry possible. While there's still much for the University of Chicago to do to affirm its commitment to diversity and inclusion, I am proud to be leading the efforts underway to advance diversity and inclusion. And not only think about it from the perspective of how we can become a more diverse university and a more inclusive university, but also to think about the ways in which that diversity and inclusion can impact our Southside neighbors. The university is indeed a member of this geographic community, this economic community, this cultural community, and there are ways in which we have yet to really expand and to affirm that. And what I'm working toward, along with my colleagues, including Wendy, that we can show evidence, not only to the communities that are surrounding us, but also to those who are part of the university community on the campus. So I'd like to talk quickly about a couple of things that we're doing. We are expanding the pathway programs that help students to gain access, to the University of Chicago. We are in the shadows of a world-class university ranked among the top 10 in the world. And yet, if that access to such an institution is not such that it makes all people living in wherever they may be in the world, but especially those who are in the communities that surround the university, then we have somehow failed to expand and to think about the excellence that could become representative of the University of Chicago. And so this summer, we are welcoming undergraduate students who are coming from around the country, who are underrepresented minority students, to begin the discovery of potential careers, academic careers in economics, given the stature of the economics department at the University of Chicago. We have a Leadership Alliance program that is working with underrepresented minority students from around the country in the humanities, the social sciences, and the sciences. And we also have the Mellon Mays program that is also working with underrepresented students. In February of 2020, with respect to the history, and a number of speakers before me have talked about the history of not only this great institution, DuSable Museum, but the history of the South Side of Chicago, and more importantly, Black history. In February of 2022, the university approved the creation of a new department on race, diaspora, and indigeneity. This is a really important first step in the university's engagement and acknowledgement of the history of racial groups, but also those who are part of larger diasporic and indigenous populations within the U.S. and around the world. Beginning this fall, the new department, which will be led by Professor Kathy Cohen, formerly chair of the political science department, will begin its work. Eventually, we will, in addition to the bachelor program and master's program that will begin this fall, we will add a PhD program. As many of you may know, back in December, the university announced the creation of the Council on University and Community Relations. And that council was formally organized in March, late March of this year. The council is composed of members, faculty, staff, and student members of the University of Chicago, and an equal complement of community leaders, residents who will begin to examine not only historical, but contemporary and future issues that affect not only the University of Chicago, but the communities surrounding it. This is a wonderful opportunity for the university to once again affirm its commitment to working forward in making a more inclusive community for those that are in its shadows. And lastly, as we celebrate the first National Juneteenth celebration, I'm proud to say that my office contributed funds that we had originally set aside for speakers to our community partners who are in collaboration with units on the university campus. And so we funded 20 opportunities or activities that will occur today, tomorrow, all the way through next week. If you go to the university's website and click on the diversity and inclusion initiatives, you'll be able to see the list of activities that are occurring during this time. I was very heartened by that. I had hoped we would get 10, but we actually had over 30 to apply. And so we anticipate in the future years that we'll be able to expand that program, showing yet another way in which the university can collaborate and partner with the community. I'm very proud to be here. Congratulations to the DuSable Museum, an important partner in helping the university to even chart its course. Thank you for this opportunity. Have a great day.
Thank you. I'm proud to share that the DuSable Museum is one of the many grants, a recipient of one of the many grants from the university, so thank you again. Our next speaker probably doesn't really need an introduction. As we know, the apple never falls very far from the tree. So, Adrian Ermer, would you please join me at the podium? Adrian is the Associate Vice President of External Affairs for IIT.
Lift it up just a little bit. I'm slightly taller. Good morning, everybody. I just want to take a quick moment to acknowledge the ancestral land of the Native peoples who lived here and stewarded this land before us, the Ojibwe, the Potawatomi, the Miami. Thank you for sharing this land with us. As Wendy mentioned, my name is Adrian Ermer. I am the AVP for External Affairs with Illinois Tech, and I'm really excited to be here to speak in celebration of this pivotal moment for the DU, not just because this institution represents a piece of my own childhood, or not just because I get to speak on behalf of Illinois Tech and our brand new president, Raj Ichambadi, who is a visionary in education himself. But because I get to share this dais with my mom and to celebrate her hard work, her team's hard work in elevating this locally iconic institution to the global stage, y'all, and that is worth celebrating. So I'm so proud of you, Mom, and all of the leadership example that you set for us, your children, and your grandbabies. So, more than 130 years ago, Frank Wakely Gonzalez delivered his $1 million sermon, and it gave rise to the powerful idea that a university with the right mission and the right purpose could liberate the power of difference to advance technology and create an engine of economic mobility for the children of steelworkers and meatpackers on the south side of Chicago. Illinois Tech's founding principles to celebrate, support, and elevate a diverse collection of voices from across our campus and community. And on the eve of Juneteenth, it's an honor to have the opportunity to acknowledge and uplift the vital role that the DuSable has played in educating all communities in Chicago and now globally. To tell the story not only of the history of Black folk in America, but the history of Black folk right here in Chicago. At Illinois Tech, we're incredibly proud of the Black history that our own alumni have created. Those who've gone on to blaze trails for others to follow, to lead and redefine their fields, from Ida Platt, the first Black female attorney to practice in the state of Illinois. Wendell Campbell, the founder and first president of the National Organization for Minority Architects, to Mark Hanna, co-founder of Silicon Graphics, Inc. That may not speak to you, but for people in tech, that's like mind-blowing. We are honored to count an incredible number of icons among our distinguished alumni, including you, Mom. The first Black woman to graduate our world-renowned College of Architecture. This adherence to our founding mission to develop purpose-driven leaders for the betterment of society has been a hallmark of our past and will continue to be a North Star in our future, a future in which we seek to recognize the incredible history and importance of our home on the south side of Chicago, and a future which creates more active, deep engagement with other tiny but mighty institutions like the DuSable Museum, the DuSable Black History Museum and Education Center. Black history is indeed American history. We all benefit from the countless contributions that the Black cultural legacy has given us. Congratulations again on this new chapter, and we look forward to co-creating history together. I'd like to leave everybody with one last note to reflect on as we embark on Juneteenth celebrations in the city and across the nation. 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation in June of 1865, U.S. General Gordon Granger stood on Texas soil with news of liberation for all enslaved peoples. That news, that information, was withheld from the enslaved peoples of Texas so that they could extract another harvest from their bodies. That is just one of the many stories of Juneteenth and why we celebrate Juneteenth. This history cannot be fully understood without institutions like the DuSable Black History Museum of Education and Excellence. And it's not about reciting a few lines from a decree or wearing fly shoes like these, although this is a fun part of the celebration. We need you to come here and learn about our history, all of our history. So I challenge each and every one of you to get a membership, to sponsor a young person's membership, and tell everyone to do the same, because when we know all of our history, we are better for it. Thank you, and happy Freedom Day.
I would like to now ask Dr. Kim Delaney to come forward and share a few inspirational words with us. Kim is our newly appointed Vice President of Education and Programs, so let's give her a bigger round of applause.
Hello, everybody. asked her, can I come say a few words last because I'm going to blow the place up. No, I'm just playing. I'm just joking. Jokes. But listen, I just wanted to say that DuSable Museum has always been involved in education. We know that he who controls the narrative controls the understanding, right? And so DuSable Museum has always been involved in education. Dr. Burroughs was an educator herself. I think that the shift that we're doing is to be intentional and very responsible about the messaging, right? Because we always have done this work and put the Black voice at the table. But we want to make sure that we're very responsible, that we're very inclusive, that we cover all of the voices, all the way from the bottom. You know, it's beautiful to hear about all of the other work and our partners are doing, but we want to cover the neighborhood voices, right? People who don't ever get to the mic. We want to bring their stories to the mic. So we're very excited about understanding through an African-centered understanding that the world is a classroom. Having said that, I'm saying all that to justify all this partying we're about to do. Because partying is a learning activity. We call it active learning, right? So tomorrow here at DuSable, that's why you see the fencing. We're celebrating Juneteenth in partnership with Chance the Rapper, Social Works, the Park District, DK's, University of Chicago, TJ Maxx. I know I'm forgetting somebody. A lot of people have sponsored this. Who? Vic Mensa, he part of social work. But all of these people who have came and heard about what we were doing and know that it's grassroots, and everybody wanted to tap in because they appreciate that we're bringing this voice that's rarely heard to the table. So tomorrow, come on now, we have free beers for the first 200 dads, because we know it's Father's Day and we don't want to forget that. Those are donated by Sheila O. and an African beer company, Star Beer. We got red velvet cupcakes. We got from Brown Sugar. They gave us a discount, not free, but discount. We got we got Garrett's popcorn at university. Our partners in the medical department, medical school at University of Chicago got us 300 bags of Garrett's popcorn for free. This is cool. We got Walgreens water. We got the produce place. What's the name of produce place? I can't remember the name, but Damaged Produce. What's the name of it, Sydney? Imperfect Produce. They gave us some cash. They gave us a bunch of free drinks. We were intentional about trying to have it be free for the community. We're celebrating freedom. Tomorrow is Freedom Enforcement Day. Understand that. We celebrate. It was originally called Jubilee Day. We celebrate the fact that that's the day that people were told they were free. But still, yes, some people don't know we are free. That's why we call it Freedom Enforcement Day, because we need the fullness of freedom, right? So we want to still see what we need to do yet in order for us to get that. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
All right, with the Happiness Club, please join us for one final performance. Please put your hands together. Thank you.
All right, we got one more for you. So this one, first of all, thank you for having us out. This has been an incredible morning, especially for my young people to witness and hear and be influenced by. They hung on every word, so I appreciate us being out here. This meant a lot to us. So during the pandemic, one of the things that the Happiness Club tried to do was to keep active. And so we had to do that virtually for a while. And then through partnerships with Harold Washington Cultural Center and other places, we were able to meet outside and stay socially distanced. But we wrote a song about what that was like for them. Nobody was impacted more through the pandemic than the young people in our lives. Their school was interrupted, their social lives were interrupted, they interrupted your adulthood, they infiltrated your house at an unruly rate, they ate up all your food, they tried your patience. You know, it was a lot for everybody involved. But for just 2 seconds, or maybe 2 minutes, from their perspective, please listen. And yes, we are using rhythm and poetry. Hip hop is a part of youth and culture, and that is why we use so much rap and so much of this music, because we are speaking to other young people. So listen carefully, but all the words are there. Y'all ready? This is how we gonna be good. We gonna be all right.
Okay.
Let's go.
About that, everything we bring to you is effective right back. We got that, give me 6 feet and no fly back. We giving good vibes like the birds in the sky. And we reach just high out the way. Mask on my face, in my own place. Hand sanitizer in the spray. Ready all day, let's get it, we with it. We getting that solid, the TXT up in the building. Do you hear me? I got a situation, everyone exists again. Creative about creations, put some respect on my name. I got a situation, everyone exists again. Creative about creations, put some we gon' be alright all through our hood, all day and all night. We gon' be good. We gon' be alright all through our hood, all day and all night. We going up, grinding for our fam so we can live it up. 2020 had me stressed, now I'm feeling like my best. And my natural distance man, check that black on for my big what? Living like it's Friday, you know we finna party. We finna kill and shot it. Me and my team go crazy. Energetic like Brian. When you back that line, happiness is our week's rule. You know we stay high on. I got a situation. Everyone exists again. Think it's okay. About creation. Put some respect on my name. Put some respect. I got a situation. Everyone thinks it's again. Think it's okay. Creation. Put some respect on my name. We gon' be good. We gon' be alright all through our hood, all day and all night. We gon' be good. We gon' be alright all through our hood, all day and all night. What? Back it up 6 feet. Okay. But firstly we start. We stay connected. Yeah. They help me find my way. Get it and have yourself a blessed day. We gon' be alright all day and all night. We gon' be alright all day and all night.
Okay, I'm gonna try this. It may not work, but that's why I've got Wendy, who may also be my Luther translator. As we unveil our new name and image, we pay respect to our past, claim our role as educators, and speak to the power of our future. The origin story of Black people lies in freedom, not in slavery. And the history we make together today and in the days to come must start with the knowledge of everywhere we have been and everywhere we are as we continue in our struggle toward the freedom and equality that must lie ahead. I thank everyone for coming today. I thank our amazing staff. Kim, stand up again, our Vice President of Education and Programs, and her wonderful staff. I can't call out every one of our staff's name here, but just understand how much we love you and appreciate you and the job you do every single day. We appreciate you. And none of us be here without this amazing staff that has stayed with us and stayed strong and worked their behinds off every single day. So now, it's time for the big reveal. Where's Raymond? We have to call. Oh, yeah, the board members, all of our board members, our trustees, all of our partners, please come up. I see Bill Michael, I see Donovan. Just everyone stand who's been such a part of this. For really, this has been a 2-year effort, if not longer. And we really appreciate everyone's help. Come on, everybody. Hey, President of our Women's Board, Del McFarland. Thank you. Okay, are you ready? We should have had Prosecco. My doctor told me I shouldn't be drinking.
Turn around.
I'm not gonna listen. Please welcome the DuSable Black History Museum and Education Center.
What about the sides? Where about the sides? Oh, there. You'll get it.
You guys getting this? There's more. Hey. Oh, patience is not a virtue I possess. Thank you so much. No, these are our temporary signs till we get permanent signage made. As you know, this is a landmark building, and so it's a longer process. But this is our new name. This is our new logo. We're proud of it. Thank you, Zeno Group. Thank you, everyone who contributed to this great day. Thank you, everybody. And please come back tomorrow for our day-long celebration of Juneteenth, also featuring Chance the Rapper and Save Money Block Party 2022. Yes. Thank you for coming. Hey, Joel.
We're done, right? Are we done?
Thank you.
The museum is open and free to the public. Please join us inside. The gift shop is open. We do have new paraphernalia.
Thank you, Patrick.
So please come enjoy the museum, shop in the gift shop. Have a great day. Happy Juneteenth Day, everybody. Thank you so much on behalf of the Board of Directors.